Grounds for opposing a trademark under Section 59. An opposition for registration of a trademark may be made pursuant to Section 52(1) on grounds specified within the Act. Section 59 provides a ground for opposition where the applicant does not intend to use the trademark within Australia. Firstly, a trademark is defined in the Act as used to distinguish goods or services from competing goods or services. It identifies the product as that of whoever applies the trademark. Section 59 allows an application for a trademark to be opposed where the applicant lacks the requisite intention. An applicant must intend to use the applied for trademark in any of the stated manners, either to distinguish their own product, authorize someone else's use of it, or assign its use to a body corporate. So, for example, Steve Jobs applies for the trademark Apple with the intention of assigning it to Apple Incorporated for use by Apple in Australia. So how is this ground established? First, when must the applicant have possessed the requisite intention? Food Channel is the leading authority, stating that it must be shown that the applicant lacked the requisite intention at the date of the application, but evidence of use or non-use after that date may be relevant in drawing inference as to the applicant's intention. Justice Fulliger explains the onus of proof concisely in Aston and Harley Manufacturing, stating that the making of the application itself is, I think, to be regarded as prima facie evidence of intention to use. The burden must rest on the opponent to prove the absence of intention. This presumption was confirmed in Food Channel. It has not been clearly resolved whether the standard of proof is on the balance of probabilities or a higher standard, that the trademark should clearly not be registered. The favoured position, however, is the balance of probabilities test. In Williamson-Dickey Manufacturing Company and Richard Magny, it was stated that the Trademarks Office appears to be leaning towards that direction, while it was reflected in Fry Consulting and Sports Warehouse Incorporated No. 2 that modern decisions generally accept the balance of probabilities test. Where the opponent can establish a prima facie lack of intention, the onus to prove intention may be shifted to the applicant. Leading authorities for this are Soyan and Food Channel. Following Aston and Harley Manufacturing, the hearing officer in Soyan also noted that only slight evidence would be required to rebut the prima facie presumption and shift the onus to the applicant. A mere allegation of lack of intention to use a trademark is not sufficient to shift the onus, but inferences drawn from evidence will be. So where the onus is shifted and the applicant fails to respond to the opponent's evidence, the application for opposition will be successful. Furthermore, where the onus is shifted, it is not enough for the applicant to merely respond to the opponent's argument. The evidentiary onus to prove intention has shifted. Now, it is important to note that a mere lack of use is not sufficient to prove a lack of intention to use. Soyan provides a perfect example. It also demonstrates that a trademark must be intended for use in Australia, otherwise the applicant will lack the requisite intention and the Section 59 ground for opposition will be established. It is required that a trademark be used or intended to be used as a trademark. To do so, it should be used as a badge of origin, indicating the source of the goods, in the course of trade. In ACI operations in Angkor, it was stressed that a trademark must indicate the source of a product, not its destination, while in Christel and Australian Swimming, use on free goods was held not to be in the course of trade. Trademarks must be used in relation to the goods or services specified in their application. In Levi Strauss and Menenka, Levi wine was registered in relation to spirits and alcoholic beverages. Use for only kosher wines was not used for the full scope of the application. The applicant's capacity to use the mark is relevant in drawing inferences as to intention. Adverse inferences have been drawn where an applicant was not operating and failed to provide evidence, had no capacity to trade in the relevant products, or was subject to relevant contractual restraint. This concludes this instructional video. Hopefully you have a better understanding of how Section 59 operates and is used to oppose a trademark.